What's up, everyone? It's Gray, aka the Hokage, and as promised, we're talking about My Hero Academia, Bakugo Rising, and we have two guests that are not new if you follow Mac Attacker, but they are new on this channel. First, we have Chad, aka Toasted Nut. Uh,
What's up, everybody?
there he is, a channel namestay, if you will, and then we have Jake, the Viking, the three patties in a pound. Yep. How you doing, man?
You know, I'm just glad to be here.
And I'm glad that you're here because this is a big topic. I can't tackle this by myself. There's so much going on here. So this video is going to be split up a little bit. We're just going to talk about a basic review, spoiler free. Then we're going to get into spoilers a little bit, and then we might talk about some manga stuff if it's relevant. Yeah, a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So initial impressions. What do you think? Anyway,
I would say that my initial impression is it's worth the ticket price, but I probably won't go back to see it again.
now, if someone was a Hero Academia fan, would you recommend it?
Yes, 100%. It's their cup of tea. You're going to see your favorite characters do their thing.
Unless your favorite characters are some characters, and then you won't see your favorite characters do things.
Right. Yeah. But like if your favorite characters are
Bakugo.
Class
If your
A,
favorite character is Bakugo, this is the
or
movie for you.
Bakugo. Yeah, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of Bakugo. So I would say if your favorite characters are those guys, go ahead and go see it. It's worth your time and worth your money.
Yeah.
I would say it starts a little slow.
Yep.
It starts pretty tame. Not a whole lot goes on. If you don't know, if you watch the trailer, they go on an island because, movie.
It's
Yeah,
where the
can't be
plot
canon.
can't happen.
They go to movie land and they're on a poopy doopy island where nothing happens, but bad things do happen, actually. Spoilers. Major spoilers. Things do happen. And then they have to be heroes that are rising.
Yep.
And now, one of my favorite parts about this movie, I think, is pretty much all of Class A actually get time to shine. As opposed to,
all a new thing.
especially compared to the last movie where it was the Deku Todoroki show. This time, it's everyone's show. It's like it's a real class.
Now some people just get kind of beat up, but
Some-
that's okay.
Some
But they were
people
there.
definitely
They
do
get-
more than others. Some people, don't make much of a mark, but they're there. And they're mentioned by name, I think.
Some of them.
And another thing, I know a lot of people worried about if they did not, because I know it's common knowledge that this takes place during manga time. You do not need to read the manga to enjoy this movie at all. I don't
There'll
think.
be a few things where you're wondering,
Who's that guy?
but most you can pretty much figure everything else out.
None of it's like, it doesn't really spoil anything. So if you're worried about that, I wouldn't be. But yeah, otherwise, I would say animation, great. Top of the line stuff.
Yep.
The ending is pretty dope. A little silly, maybe, but pretty dope. We'll get more into details about that later. But
It's always-
I got very much Dragon Ball Broly vibes from this movie in its pacing. Because it was basically like slow story build up and then 50 minutes of action.
Well, to be honest, a lot of anime movies kind of
You would think.
same pathing.
they have to get
Like,
the
I felt Naruto movie from this. I felt a lot of different things, but like it.
What's Naruto?
I don't know. It's Boruto's son.
Oh, that's weird. That Boruto had a son and named it after his dad.
Yeah.
it's the typical the anime movie shows the villain doing something bad, then it shows the main characters having fun somewhere that isn't where the plot of this anime happens. And then the villain shows up where they are. And
Yep.
We'll have to get more into the villains when we get to the spoiler part because I have a lot to say about the villains of this movie. Some good, some bad. But otherwise, I can't think of much else. I definitely would recommend it if you're a Hero Academia fan.
It's almost worth it because it's nice to see them kind of have like some time off liked just seeing them be hero. Well, this is kind of spoilerish for the movie, but you
They're
get to
heroes
see
in
them
this
just
movie.
Be a hero.
They are heroes rising.
True. They're heroes rising. You get to see them kind of do casual stuff, and it's kind of lighthearted. And it's nice to see that every once in a while because it kind of shows some more progression with every character.
I agree.
Ye-
I don't know if I would recommend this if you weren't a Hero Academia fan. Like, not if you didn't like it, but if you're like, I don't know if I would. I don't know if this would be their introduction.
No.
Because I kind of feel like you have to know what's going on, especially certain things. If you don't know about the show, you'll be real confused.
Some parts of the movie, they try to make it so if you've never seen it, Boku no Hero, to where you can kind of follow the plot. Like they have a few backflashes every now and then.
You get to watch the
Kind of keep
intro.
you.
You
kept
do
up,
get to watch
but
the intro.
You do, but
Again.
yeah, you can't even escape it in the
We
movie.
live in a superhuman society.
But no, I would say that you would have to watch at least some of the anime or read some of the manga before going to see a movie to really get the full brunt of it.
I'd agree. I'd say you could probably still have a pretty good time, but you wouldn't have any emotional impact at all.
No.
And I'm pretty sure there'd be a lot of characters who are like, I don't know who this person is. But
Yeah.
if anyone has any other closing thoughts for the spoiler-free section of the video, say them now. And if not, we will move on.
I got nothing.
All right. I will do a 3 seconds to stop the video if you have not seen the movie or you care about spoilers. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're talking about spoilers now. Any spoiler thoughts that come to your mind
Well,
initially?
Bakugo dies.
He does not die.
Does not die. I would say that the music at the end, the soundtrack throughout the entire movie, in fact, I really liked it all. Like the soundtrack was on point, especially the ending song, like during the final fight between Nine and Deku Bakugo.
Dekugo.
Dekugo, yeah.
So this movie
Yeah.
kind of almost the focus is kind of Midoriya and Bakugo's ideals as what a hero is a little bit. It kind of builds on what they both are, and it shows a lot of them working more so than we've ever seen in the show. Them working together.
It's almost a shame that this isn't canon.
Yes.
Because you
They
see
team
them actually kind of work together, which was what we've been kind of wanting to see in the show for a while now, because they kind of had a moment where, well, like in the show, they had a moment where they respect each other, they fought and everything. And then nothing happened after that. Absolutely nothing. They haven't even really communicated since then. So seeing this movie where they actually kind of, I wouldn't say get along.
They're
but
definitely way
they
kinder to
fight.
each other here
They
than
had a
they
team
ever
move.
have been.
They had a team move, man.
They did. It was
They-
awesome.
They actually work together.
I don't know how their arms aren't broken from it, but it was awesome.
Right, but
You-
still, it has never happened in the show, and the fact that it still kind of never has happened because the movie isn't canon, kind of sad.
Well, it's quote canon. It's canon because it can exist. It just never will be referenced.
yeah, well, it might as well not
Yeah.
exist.
Yes.
At that point.
Uh,
It's just a good time.
I think the movie's cool because it's the first time we get to really see Bakugo fight, like
true.
not Deku, as like a hero. And sometimes you forget how cool Bakugo's powers are until you get to see him in action. You're like, damn, that guy's cool.
It's weird seeing Bakugo not get taken by the enemy and like
Yeah, yeah.
Deku having to try to save him. Yeah, it's weird not seeing that.
Boy.
So I'm gonna talk about the villains a little bit. There's one standout here, and then there's the others.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen the movie, first of all, why are you in the spoiler part? But if you, I guess by some chance you just don't care. There's 4 villains in this movie. There's the leader, Nine, who's really boring.
He's late.
He's very lame. There's, what is it?
His powers are cool.
I mean, I guess.
He's just all for
Was
one
it like
person.
Slash?
Lightning.
Was the girl or something?
And Slice.
Slice. That's
Yeah.
what it was. Her hair can shoot sharp.
She
Get
had a
sharp.
moment
Shoots her hair.
That
and
was
it's
pretty
sharp.
cool. in the cave though?
She blew up a bunch of boats with just her hair.
It's
That was
true, she did
impressive.
blow up a
That
bunch
was
of
impressive.
boats.
This movie, the one thing this movie did kind of bother me was the scale of the enemy's attacks were monstrous in this movie.
Yeah,
Like-
when 9 just blew up a city with like
9?
lightning, I was like, oh.
So
okay.
9 has 9 quirks in total. And we only see like 4, but they're all pretty good. One of them is just controlling the weather, and that includes lightning manipulation. So he's just Storm from X-Men, and he just destroys a city in like a second because just lightning
Yeah.
strikes everything.
It's true.
And then he has a coughing fit, and it's really unfortunate.
Yeah, he also just like sells blah blah blah, need plot to move forward, even
Yeah.
though at the end it didn't matter at all.
You seem pretty powerful already.
Yeah, you seem pretty powerful, and then he's like, oh,
He was dying of a heart attack, then he got over it.
yeah, he was
Yeah.
like, oh no, I'm gonna lose. What if I don't care? And then there's a mummy
Someone call an
who's
ambulance.
mummy
Or
gets
you-
taken out like a complete punk by Bakugo.
Right. Yeah.
Just gets owned immediately.
Yeah.
True.
He unfortunately had to fight Kirishima, Kaminari, and Bakugo, and then Kirishima and Kaminari did the thing where they do nothing while Bakugo does everything.
It's
Again,
true. They
yeah.
did do
Again,
nothing.
the exact same thing happened like in the one.
Yeah.
It was just the same
The
scene,
tournament
basically.
arc, yeah.
Except Kaminari wasn't cool. Except he wasn't useful at all.
He didn't even get to do his one useful. He stood there. I was like, oh,
He shot mummy
He
balls.
shot a few of them.
Yeah, and then
And then he.
I thought that
a
was
tracker
Chest
back.
Laser Man.
no, the mummies, the little mummy balls. Kaminari shot some with his lightning.
He shot some, yeah.
It was like a scene. It was like one thing, like they glossed over it. And they're
No,
like, cool.
he plopped his little shoot.
Yeah,
thing
he
down
shot
and
his
then
like homing whatever, and then he shot
Yeah.
lightning through it. And Kirishima was in the movie.
He was a tractor battery for most of it.
Kaminari was literally used to absorb lightning in the finale.
That was amazing. I love
It was
that.
funny, but I was like, as someone who really wanted to see Kaminari do stuff, I was like, man,
He's
He
not
could have
allowed to.
done a
do-
lot more.
there's a lot of dumb Kaminari. And then the last villain, who is the highlight of the villains, was Chimera, who is
Goat.
just the strongest character in the show ever, as far as I could tell.
He seems to be a weird mix between a furry and Godzilla.
Well, no, he's a Chimera.
He's a Chimera.
He's just a
Oh.
monster.
Oh,
That's why his
okay,
name is
he's just
Chimera.
a Chimera. Okay.
He's
So
got bird
when you're
hands
introduced to
and
this
a
guy, you
wolf
just think he's like all the other animal people who are just people that happen to be animals in this universe, which
He's
is
really
common.
Strong. Yeah.
face.
And he's really strong. And like, my man is casually fighting Todoroki, who, by the way, real quick tangent, Todoroki kind of sucked this movie,
Yeah.
He gets his ass kicked.
which is bizarre because Todoroki is always like the love child of the show who can never do no wrong.
He's also like really strong in every other point of the show. Period. It's a series.
I mean, he was strong. His attacks just didn't do anything
Like-
at all.
The fact someone can just punch ice like that, like, or like,
When he
when he
literally
breathed
flexed on
fire.
fire and then it went away.
yeah, he just breathed his own fire. That really threw me off.
Oh yeah, I was about to say, I was like, my man's just like a strong wolf man, and then he whips out fire out of his mouth from nowhere,
Yeah.
and that was interesting. And then he gets big, and mind you, he is fighting like 4 of the top 10 members of Class
He's fighting,
A.
like Ida and Kirishima.
Yeah, it was Ida,
And
it was
Todoroki.
Suchan, it was Todoroki.
Frog
And
Girl.
he was destroying them, like low difficulty destroying them.
No, he wasn't even really worried about it. Like he was just kind of toying with them at one point. Then Todoroki finally does something and frees.
Well, with the
all
help
his
of everyone
insides.
else, it's a tag team effort. We get to see
true.
Unbreakable, which I was
True.
worried that we wouldn't.
Yeah.
I was like, are we really going to go through this movie and Kirishima's not going to do the one thing that he did? But no, we see it. He does it.
They I feel like Kirishima could have done more.
I feel like a
Yes.
lot of characters. Speaking of characters that could have done. So by the way, the wrap up Chimera, he gets defeated by Todoroki freezing his insides out, and which should kill him. But then at the end of the movie, it's revealed that he was okay the whole time. He was just taking a nap.
He was okay a few
Just
hours
like-
later.
Yeah, yeah.
He was frozen inside. And
I
out.
want so desperately Chimera to come back.
He won't.
He know he
No.
won't, but boy, would it be awesome if he did. It's such a cool design and power wasted. I feel bad saying it's wasted in a movie, but let's be honest, it's wasted in a movie. Like, it doesn't matter.
I don't know because like it
I
had such a
enjoyed the
good showing.
experience.
No. I enjoyed the movie. I just like the character, and I want to not see him
You just want to see
stuck
more. Don't worry.
in
We'll get the
purgatory.
sequel
Purgatory,
where
yeah.
Chimera becomes the main villain.
Yeah, but then how are they going to beat him? With what? He didn't take
Same
damage from anything.
Again.
I don't know.
It's freezing him again.
A loud noise.
Maybe. So I was
time
gonna say
technically.
how some standouts in this movie to me I thought were Aoyama. He actually did a lot for a character who's mostly played off as a joke for 90% of the show. And don't get me wrong, he doesn't like save the day, but he
does shoot lasers.
does do that, and it's
Like, a
useful.
lot. Yeah.
So that was cool.
He shoots lasers.
Also, Sero was kind of a beast in this movie, low key.
Yeah, he did
Never
a lot.
doubt Tape Man. Tape Man is
Sero, not Spider-Man, really put in the effort, and like he was doing
worth
things.
that.
Got his ass beat, and he kept on getting up.
What a hero. Speaking of ass beat, we should probably talk about Sugar Rush Boy, who literally got his ass beat.
Yeah, he didn't do much at all.
Well, he had to fight the strongest character.
He did have to fight Chimera, which was a shame.
Yeah,
but
immediately
it was
lost.
like one punch.
At least Ojiro put up at least dodged some and then got
like
hit.
he was like getting hit, and he was taking some hits.
He was
and that
at least he was
Sugar
having a
Rush Man,
fight. I think
Yeah.
it's Sato is Sugar Rush. I think that's his name.
I don't know.
He's not important, is the answer. He never will be. He just kind of gets dropped on him like chickens, yes, and then Chimera one shots him, and that's the end of that.
Yeah,
that was his entire scene. Was that? And it was-
That's all he gets. And also, some kid cried at his face because he's ugly.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Ooh.
What the? I know. Coda.
Oh, dude, he saves the day.
He does. He does save the day. He only does one thing in the whole movie, but that one thing where he saves Bakugo and Deku, clutch, and the kids.
Hey, he
saves
he
everyone.
found that lady's cat.
He did find the cat.
Yeah.
The scene where they were heroes was cute. Where they're like
Yeah,
doing
that's-
normal hero
That's
things.
what I was saying. Like when they were just doing lighthearted, kind of like hero work.
Some of those things,
like I was like,
they
yeah,
should not have been doing, but it was cute nonetheless.
Yeah, it was cute. They were obviously trying to suck up. Like,
I mean, I was gonna say, how do they know? They like put out a flyer like, "Hey, if your battery needs charged, we have the hero for that."
I'm pretty sure it was like a request thing online. Like they were like,
Yeah,
hey,
they
if
had
you
like a
need help.
call center.
Why?
and then-
Okay, I know,
they're
I
like,
get that, but I'm
we can
saying,
send someone to help you.
why would you call a hero agency if your car needs jumped? Like what the? Like, wouldn't you
Because
not?
he's an
They
asshole. I don't
needed
know.
someone to do. They needed electric problems.
Maybe
Maybe
they
to go
knew
fix it.
that he had the thing. It seemed like they were there for a while.
All I'm saying is, I thought it was really strange that the first thing they would be like, "Oh man, my phone died."
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that was kind of stupid. I was
dumb.
like, wow. But I will say that old lady, like, I need a new like motorcycle battery, and it made.
Do you guys have a hero that can like
Momo
turn into
come over
cars?
there. Like they made Momo get over there and literally replace her battery, and I'm like, do you know how expensive those can get?
Hey, that's
She
why
just
heroes are there to
did
save you money
such-
and time.
Listen,
Yeah.
Momo could have just made her a new motorcycle.
No,
No,
she
that's
doesn't
too
know how to
many
fucking
many
put
lipids.
together.
That
Yeah.
doesn't. That does not.
He also
matter, Nico.
no-
Don't mind the fact that
Especially
she
when
made two
especially
giant
when she
cannons at one point in the
artillery
movie.
cannon.
Don't ignore that. That's too
Cannons
many
are pretty
lipids.
simple. No, she's got to know how to put it. Like she has to
Okay.
know how it works.
I mean, she
Those were
fixed
like
it.
two
so-
artillery cannons,
Yeah.
which do work and shot explosives
Uh-huh.
multiple times.
So she had to make at least a couple missiles or bombshells or whatever. Speaking of bombshell, right?
Nice.
And if she can make the battery for the motorcycle, she could probably make the motorcycle.
Either way, they definitely had some silly stuff. We're also introduced to two children characters in this movie, which I actually enjoyed more than the side characters of the first movie, which was like the chick, the weird love interest for Deku when he already has one. So that was weird. But this one, we see some kids. Then their dad's, I don't know, somewhere else. Not there, obviously.
Gets jumped.
No, he's
Obviously.
sleeping.
Fucking blacked out.
He
he's
does
sleeping.
get jumped by the villain because his quirk is very convenient for the villain. Solves his exact problem.
He can heal.
But
Well, you can't heal the villain.
no,
so
but the
villain
blood
is-
type is wrong, so he has to get the kids, and that's why they're there. The kids are. I didn't hate them. I thought they were fine. Most of the time, kids in anime are like really annoying.
I mean, they were kind of annoying, but in the way like kids should be anyway. So like,
My favorite part was the toddler run, where he just flails his.
Oh,
arms
that
and
was
goes.
funny. I did think that was funny. Where he
It's like,
runs
"I'll
at the villain.
stop you."
yeah,
Yeah, 9 was disappointing. However, his powers were cool. He has like blue eyes, white dragon.
He does
Powers?
have blue eyes, white dragon, where he just summons a dragon out of his
and
ass.
he summons lightning. Then he also like sees people's quirks? Question mark.
He can see their power level. I don't,
He, like, his
It,
eyes,
it
like,
was
moved,
interesting.
and he was
They
like,
don't really
"Oh,
explain
that
it. He
must
just,
be a
like-
power
He
quirk."
he just got predator vision, and people
That-
would glow whenever their quirk activated or something. He'd just be like, "Oh, I know what quirk that is," and
oh, it's a power
just
enhancer.
ignore it.
You also had like air barrier and then air gust. Or whatever.
Right before we finish up, Yuri Raka also did a lot of things in this movie. Her power is getting to the point where she can make an entire island float at what it's so many rocks.
It's true.
So many
Oh,
rocks were
wow.
floating. So many rocks. I was at one point, I'm like, she can't. This is not feasible. How'd you touch all those?
Well, I think since they were all together, I don't know. Maybe
They were literally floating apart, though. Is the problem with that?
I don't know, dude. I really.
Listen, don't think about it too much. Just enjoy it.
She
Mineta,
has the quirk ability all touch, and she gets to touch everything.
Nice.
At
Nice.
once. Yeah.
Nice.
Mineta did things, and wasn't
Speaking of,
Mineta was only thirsty instead of creepy.
Yeah, he wasn't
True.
gross like he is normally. He was like a fairly
He was
normal
just thirsty.
teenager.
He is thirsty.
Nothing that made me stop and be like, Jesus.
Unlike in the show.
Unlike the most recent episode of the show, which was,
Is it the most recent?
I think so.
it is. Or-
Mina, Acid
It's
Girl,
bad.
didn't do anything, really. She kind of helped Tokiomi, which, by the way, Tokiomi went ham at the end here.
It's true.
My man.
He did.
He also, that's another segment for the manga section of this
Revelry in
video, because he definitely
Revelry
does
in the dark.
something that is not in the show yet. But everyone knows about it now. But basically, they fight the hair chick in the cave, and then Ashido, I believe is how you pronounce that name, gets rid of her long hair, and so she's stuck with short
True.
hair.
Yeah, she gets acid.
But then she
hair.
gets hurt,
In their hair.
and then Tokiomi realizes the animal he has become.
It's true. He gets pissed.
This is
He
mine.
gets animal and it gets really edgy really quick.
Doesn't he say like "This is my world" or something? He's in a
Yeah,
dark
he's
cave.
got-
God, I
Yeah.
love him. He's the best. And then Dark Shadow goes
Yes,
crazy
well,
and
that's
just wins the fight because
But then he doesn't.
But then
because-
rocks fall on them and they're all knocked out.
yeah.
Yay!
Those gosh darn rocks.
So I guess we should probably address the elephant in the room, which is the ending, which I think is by far the most controversial part of this movie. Not exactly like the action in the ending, because the action's awesome. It looks great.
The action was really cool.
Looks awesome.
And the soundtrack made it even
Soundtrack
better.
was also great. But what happens is interesting, to say the least. So if you don't know, or as if you don't care, which I'm sure you do know if you're watching this part of the video, you probably are very aware of what happens here. Deku gives Bakugo one for all. And
He does do that.
Bakugo gets powered up because he can use it, which is fine. We haven't seen that happen, but, movie world rules. And then since Deku's fighting with the last Embers, he gets a power up. And they literally go Super Saiyan.
Yep, they go Super Saiyan. It's very flashy.
It is
lots
so
of
flashy.
explosions.
It is good
It is.
lord.
Stupid amount of flash there.
They
But
punch a tornado.
Bakugo melts like an entire side of the mountain, so
Yep.
Deku can punch the villain really hard.
question mark. But he could have just went over it. But cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool to see.
I hate Bakugo's hair when he had one for all.
See, I
I thought it looked so
it.
stupid.
Looked like
I
it was on fire.
I was like, this is too. Also,
I
their
thought it
pupils
was fine.
change. It was a little.
The pupils were just for flair.
It was
and
a
I-
little. It was very extra. This last
Dude,
fight was
that
super
whole entire
extra.
thing was so extra just for the point of it, I guess. I don't know, but it still was pretty cool. I was wondering, like, as soon as it happened, I'm like, how the hell are they gonna cover it up? Like, how are they gonna be like, oh, that never happened?
Easy.
That's
That is
okay.
the
He
answer.
can just give it back.
Yeah, well, when All Might just said, well, he lost consciousness, so the transfer never completed. I groaned a little bit.
It's a little dumb. It was definitely a little. They did it. and They
I'm
didn't
like,
think
I
about
don't
it
know.
too much.
Yeah.
And apparently,
Okay, what's a miracle?
I talked about this at the movie, but I'll say it again. Apparently, that was originally, or at least something similar to it, right? And probably not that exact thing, but something along those lines was supposed to be the ending of the manga. And I think we can all agree that we're glad that he decided that that was not going to happen because
Yep.
I don't like that. Also, if this movie showed me anything, it's that Bakugo does not need one for all to
he
be
does not.
competitive.
It's true.
So yeah, I think that concludes. Does anyone have anything else they want to say? Like in spoilers, any thoughts, opinions? Oh, we should probably talk about the League of Villains stuff, huh?
I mean, they were just.
Well,
Or at
Not
least
really.
he didn't really do much.
you're right, but I did think Endeavor was really cool.
It was cool, but that's like the
Yeah,
first
but
5
that's not
minutes.
even
I
League of
know.
Villains.
It's fine. I mean, he fought the League of Villains.
I mean,
Did
he
fight
blew up
the
a
League of
car.
That's the closest him and Dobby have ever gotten.
That's true.
Well, they
They
can.
didn't react to each other, so that made me.
I
Be a
don't
little-
think they saw each other. They just saw
They
the
didn't. They
fight.
didn't. They
Yeah,
definitely didn't
alright.
really see each other. They just.
Well,
were like,
Dobby definitely said Endeavor.
Oh, Dobby. Well, well, that's a conversation for later, I think. But yeah, I think that does it for the spoiler talk. And now another 3 seconds. This part will be really quick. There's not much to talk about, but we are going to discuss manga stuff just a little bit, namely the one thing. So you're going to get 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're talking about manga stuff. I assume this is about the lack of Black Whip usage,
Yep.
even though they
Yeah.
definitely alluded to it.
Like Deku had his tool, his new tool that he gets, but he
That's,
didn't.
they hinted at in the most recent episode of the show, by the way.
Yep. Then they also even said that Deku can have multiple quirks.
Which, if you don't know what happens in the manga, isn't like a very obvious line. It's a very like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he just gets all for one or one for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. He can have that quirk because it's technically like multiple. No, that was like direct. If you read the manga, you're like, oh yeah,
No,
okay.
I know what that means.
Yeah. Very obviously alluding to the fact that he's going to get 7 other quirks that we know 2 of, Black Whip and Float.
True.
Mhm.
Anything? Also, there's some manga designs here. Endeavor has a scar. Hawks I believe this was his debut as far as voice goes, right?
Yeah.
For some reason, he just looks like he's been there before, but
I mean, I think we've seen Hawks, right? Like at least like
yeah,
a
I think
little
he
bit
showed
of
up
him.
like once or something. I don't know.
I don't. He definitely don't think he spoke.
Maybe in the background.
I think they showed like his back or something. I'm pretty
Yeah.
confident, but I don't think we've seen him. Well, he's also in the opening,
Definitely has
so there's that. I'm pretty sure Hawks is in the opening of the new
Yeah.
season.
I don't know. But either way,
His voice is
this is
fine.
the first time he's been there for a while.
Watching
Like,
him animated was cool.
Yeah, that's true.
Makes me excited for the next couple things that we're getting. Shigaraki was missing fingers, which you would not notice at all unless you were looking for it, like I was.
True, me too.
Otherwise, I don't think there's much else. Tokiomi uses his flying, and it's
Yeah.
very abrupt. And as someone who was sitting next to people who didn't read the manga, they were shook the fact that he was casually flying. So that was funny. But they gotta do it somehow. I also didn't know that's how it worked.
That is a weird way that it works. But
Well,
you
I mean,
know
like
what?
I just never. I guess I always assumed it was like gliding, but that was like not gliding. That was like
that was flying.
flying. It was like
He
full on
did
flying.
Flight up,
That was
just
floating.
fly away.
So that's way better than I thought it was. Because in the manga, we only have still images, and he's never in a place where he's like above ground, really using it. But in this one, he was in the sky. Which, take in mind, There is a possibility that that is not how it works, and that was a movie thing, and they just didn't care.
True.
Possible. So let's not assume that everything we've seen here is what everyone's can actually do. Or in this case, how much they sucked in Todoroki's case. But otherwise, I think that's it for the manga, right? Nothing else came up.
That was it.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, give
Go
me
watch
your
the
rating of the movie out of 10.
I have my rating. I was waiting for you, Chad.
I'm gonna go with 6 out of 10. I enjoyed myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with 7.5. I liked it a lot.
And I'll meet in the middle with a cool 7. I definitely did think it was a massive step over the first movie, which I
Yes.
thought was pretty mid at best. This one
I
was
would say
definitely
the
a better
previous
stride.
one was like a 5.5.
the first one was
so I
like a
think-
5. Yeah, it was like it wasn't bad, but like it wasn't nothing was interesting or different. Except for like the end fight was fine, but the villain was just as boring. They really got to work on movie villains.
Stop making All for One the villain of the movie.
Stop making worse versions of
Knock.
All for One. It
Knock
really is
off
though.
All
That's
for
what's
One
messed
returns.
up.
Have
It's
to
just
make an ultimate world-ending enemy. That's like the only one.
It's All for One.
But yeah, I think that does it for this video. So thank you all so much for sticking through. If you made it all the way here, we're 30 minutes into this now. 30 minutes of quality content. If you want more quality content, you should check out my other channel, Mac Attack. It's in the description. I played a lot of Legends and Seven Deadly Sins mobile game, which is super dope. And Jake plays.
I love it a
and It's
lot.
fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So expect more of that. And in that case, we'll see all of you next time. See you.
Right.
Why?